Start of the fourth quarter, Richmond Academy with the Musketeers leading the Hornets 26-7. And it is a third down for the Hornets. And in trouble and running for his life is Corey Wallace. And he's going to be close to a first down as he kept the play alive. And from what we are, it looks like he might have gotten it. And indeed he does. He was run out of bounds by Cameron Hughes for Richmond Academy. So a fresh set of downs for the Hornets, who need points. Down 19, now under 12 minutes to play in the game. Wallace out of the shotgun. And they're probably going to do a lot of this the rest of the way here. And an interception, bringing it back the other way. Mondarius Taylor and the Musketeers with another big play on defense will take over at midfield.
Well, right on cue, John. I'm up here discussing off the air the possible players of the game, and certainly a contender is Mondarius Taylor. He has been great on both sides of the ball. That's his second pick of the night, and a nice play. That one a little easier than the first one. The first one he had to make a really athletic play. That one's sort of thrown into his gut.
So now the Musketeers with a real chance to put this one away if they can get points out of this drive. It's guess who again on first down, and he's got a whole chunk of yardage, dragging people down inside the 40-yard line. And it's starting to look like this Aiken defense might be a little bit tired, AB.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Richmond has done what Aiken was trying to do. They've established the run and really just run it down their throats with a bunch of different weapons. I mean, Knowles has been the catalyst, but they've had a lot of different guys run the ball. And then what you do have to look out for if you're a defensive back is Cobb can throw it downfield when necessary. And that thought in the back of their heads allowed Richmond to really run the football well tonight, I think.
On first down, it's Knowles again. Great spin move, but staying with the play was William McDuffie. They call him William Jr. at Aiken.
Well, he did a good job there keeping a hold of that jersey of Knowles, who's had a nice night. Back-to-back 100-yard games for the diminutive running back there, Knowles. But I tell you, he packs a wallop.
I'm sorry, the what running back?
Diminutive.
Very nice.
151 yards now for Knowles.
So he is 11 short of his total from last week, and he's going to get a chance to get it right here. And he's going to come a little bit short. Takes it to about the 31-yard line. Give him another couple.
He said, "What you talking about, John Hart?" My total from last week.
Oh, he's going to eclipse that.
By the way, we've got some scores. You definitely want to catch football Friday night. I'm not giving it away. We got a couple of scores that if they hold, you're going to turn some heads around the entire state tonight.
You're putting the pressure on Nathan Palm and Zach Hughes. Teeing it up for them.
They'll have it, baby.
Football Friday night coming up at 11:35 over on WJBF with a recap of this game and all of the highlights and scores from around the area.
Yeah, there's Dorsey, who's had a good game tonight. One of the two Dorseys that have played well for Richmond Academy.
On third down, they go to Knowles again. Who else? And he will push across the 30 for another first down. And I believe that will probably give him the yards he needs to eclipse last week's total.
Well, he's getting congratulated a little bit. They're going to bring him out and give him a breather, I think. Well-deserved breather. He's been a workhorse tonight.
Good hand from this Richmond Academy crowd.
Well, that's what's good to see. I mean, I've been to games here, and I know you have too, where, let's face it, the football team almost outnumbered the crowd. And tonight we had a good crowd on the home side, no question about it, for ARC. They sense a little excitement with this team playing some good football so far.
Fresh set of legs in there is Mondarius Taylor, and he is stopped at the 29-yard line. There were years, AB, where the soccer team far outdrew the football team.
Yeah,
here.
No doubt, no question. And some would say, well, let's face it, they were having better seasons.
Well, sure.
No question. But, Richmond, they had such great tradition, such great history. And you're right, schools built up around them, and some got, and they, caught up with them and surpassed them in some instances. But they've struggled through some years, but now it looks like maybe they're ready to return some of those beatings to some of the teams that they've struggled with in recent, at least the last decade or so.
It's like the old Babe Ruth line when he was asked, how do you feel about making more money than the president? He said, well, I had a better year.
I had a better year than he did. Yeah.
Not a whole lot there for Clydell White, and it's going to be third and long for the Musketeers.
the last guy on the bench makes more than the president now. You don't have to be Babe Ruth.
Well, it depends on the president.
Well, that's true. That's
His
true.
salary, maybe.
Well, that's good. Excellent point. Excellent point.
They need 12 on third down. Taylor is the running back still. And they're going to throw for it. Cobb looking long. Got his man. Touchdown, D.T. Stevens.
Well, I'll tell you what, D.T. Stevens has had himself a game tonight. 2 touchdown catches, an interception for the second straight week. I said all preseason what an athlete he was, and then when they won the first game, I said he might not be the best football player on the team, but he might be the best athlete. The kid tonight having a good game. Good to see that. Now our GMC Kicks for College. All of our kicks all season long.
It is
by GMC.
32-7, and Judson Pickett on to try to make it 33-7. Very impressive showing here tonight by this Richmond Academy Musketeer team. Kick almost blocked, but Pickett got it up and through, and the extra point is good. And your score with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left to play here, Richmond Academy 33, Aiken 7. We'll take a timeout on Game Night Live. (33-7), ARC with a big lead, getting relatively late in the fourth quarter here against the Aiken Hornets. AB, you got some score updates for us?
We do, and like I said, I don't want to give them all away, but Burke County has taken the lead in that Washington County game, 22-17. Lugoff Elgin now has taken the lead against Midland Valley. It's 32-28. Silver Bluff has rallied, and they lead Fox Creek. All these games are late third quarter, early fourth quarter for the most part. They lead 16-13 to the Bulldogs there, and West Hall leads Washington Wilkes 7-zip again. You definitely want to catch football Friday night tonight. A lot of good games in the area and some surprises as well.
Stavon Porter on the return for Aiken, and he's going to be dragged down at about the 14-yard line. That's the first time we've called Porter's name tonight. He's one of the big playmakers on offense for Aiken. He had a big week in week one with multiple big plays, but that's the first time that we've heard his name called tonight.
You're right, and again, when you go into these games and do a little prep work, you're looking at who you might hear from, and he's certainly one of the guys we thought. Just haven't called his name much tonight. Tell you what, nice tackle that time by Darlington. We've called his name a few times. I love, there are a couple of these Richmond Academy kids, that really are doing a good job at wrapping those legs up and not letting the runners get away from them.
So Aiken really needs to.
Scores that might turn heads, by the way.
Yeah, no kidding.
Not that they won, but the score right now, 33-7, would surprise some folks, I think.
Well, they put 41 on the board last week. This is 33, and we've still got 8 minutes to play here tonight.
Definitely letting people know they're here to play some football in 2017.
Hornets trying to make something happen through the air. DeAndre Bynum on the receiving end of that. He'll pick up 4 yards. All right, AB. We've talked about the tradition here at Richmond Academy. The school's been here for a couple of hundred years, since 1783. There's a program, a football program that has produced 4 NFL players. We're probably, most of us are most familiar with Ken Wisenhunt, now the offensive coordinator with the Los Angeles, that's hard to remember to say, the Los Angeles Chargers. You also had Bill Fulcher, who went on to become the head coach at Georgia Tech for a couple of years. All right, Matt Lane, you can play along. Are you ready? All right. So John Small played here. Yeah. The name very familiar here in the Augusta community.
Very familiar to Matt because that's his uncle.
Well, there you go. Then he might actually, this isn't so much about John Small, but Matt would definitely know that John Small was drafted in the first round with the 12th pick overall by the Atlanta Falcons in 1970. AB, who was the number 1 pick in that draft?
1970, Joe Green was 60. 1970, Archie Manning? No. Bradshaw was 71, right? Let's see.
I can't comment.
Bradshaw might have been 70. Yeah, Bradshaw was 71.
Is that your final answer?
I'm going to go Bradshaw.
That's a very, very good answer. Well done. Well done. Terry Bradshaw it is. No, it's very good.
Right, okay.
That's it. That's good.
I knew it was 70 or 71. I should know that one.
All right, neither one of you will ever get this one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Who was the 5th pick in that draft in the first round? I'll give you a hint. By the Buffalo Bills. As Aiken has the ball needing 3 on second down.
Buffalo Bills.
Oh, here's a huge pickup by Green. First down and then some. He's got the sideline. It is Green
This
with
guy
a
can fly.
convoy and a touchdown.
Well, he can really run. I mean, the thing that has stood out for Aiken tonight is that they need to get the ball to Green as much as possible. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, we saw. That's right. Matt's pointing out we saw a running back named Mon Denson against Thompson out of the from LaGrange High School, and that's exactly what he looks like—a shorter Mon Denson who was put on a show that night for LaGrange in a losing effort. Just has great speed. All right, number 5 overall pick, 1970. You say with the Bills. OJ was the year before, right?
Ooh, you just may have given yourself a hint.
I thought OJ was the year before in the first pick, but I'll go OJ, I guess. But I thought he was 69.
I just said OJ might be a hint.
Oh, okay, yeah. Reggie McKenzie? No.
As we have an injured player for Richmond Academy who's slow to get up. Ladarius Davies is now up and walking off under his own power. Guess what?
What?
It is Al
It's
Callis.
Al Callis. Dang. I didn't realize he was a first-round pick.
I didn't either until I looked that up last night. He's a little more famous for other things.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I was thinking OJ was a year before.
So with Davis coming off under his own power for Richmond Academy, we are ready for the point after.
Well, you're right. Matt's telling us in our ear that Coach Burns is, unhappy with all the sloppy play, and he's right. In the second half, it has been a little bit sloppier for Richmond. I mean, they're leading, and they should be happy with that. But they've had a lot of miscues on the snaps. They've had penalties. It has been a little sloppy.
That was a bad snap for Aiken, but our Greater Augusta Sports Council Ray Guy punter of the game, Austin McKay, are still able to get it through the uprights, and Aiken now trails by 19 again, 33-14.
Well, you've got to be able to handle when you struggle. I mean, as a coach, you want teams to be able to handle that, but you also have to handle success. When you hadn't had it, you got to be able to handle it. And part of handling that success is when you get up, continue to play your game, continue to play smart, keep your head in the game. And look, it's game number 2. We're going to see miscues, but I'm sure that stuff Coach Burns wants to get cleaned up.
One more thing about that 1970 draft. I know you're a big Steelers guy.
Yes.
The first pick in the 3rd round, Mel Blount.
Yeah, wow. We've had 70 and 74 were 2 incredible drafts for the Steelers, no doubt. 74, Lynn Swan, John Stallworth, and Jack Lambert, all in the same draft.
And Mel Blount, no stranger to the Augusta area. He's always here with the annual Augusta Futurity at the James Brown Arena every January.
By the way, Nathan's asking, if you're Aiken, do you kick it deep or onside kick it? If you have any desires of winning, I think you onside kick it.
Well, we're about to find out.
Look, Matt just said, if you're under 30, you know what's happening right now, talking about our older references. Well, I will say this. The Gary U Premium reference earlier kind of slid by everybody, John. I knew what you were going with.
They do kick it deep, and back to retrieve it is Mondarius Taylor. He'll retreat to his 5-yard line. A little bit of room to run. Ooh, grabbed by the helmet and dragged down at the 16-yard line.
Gary U Premium, of course, the longtime Dolphin place kicker who had one of the more famous, or I guess infamous plays in Super Bowl history where didn't exactly look athletic on that play.
No, we've got another ARC player down.
And hoping it's a cramp.
I believe that is one of the, it looks like a cramp the way he's acting. I still can't see a number.
Well, this
44. I thought it might be one of the Dorseys, and it is Isaiah Dorsey.
Well, next week this Aiken team goes to Clinton, and for Richmond Academy they go to Josie. Josie being handled pretty easily tonight by Greenbrier. So a chance for ARC to start the season 3-0. That would be big. And, of course, we will be heading over to Midland Valley as the Mustangs take on Strom Thurmond, a game last year where we saw one of the best individual performances all year. Tyrese Nick, who's now graduated, really put on a show in that game against Midland Valley. There you see Coach Burns talking to his talented running back.
And Dorsey able to walk off the field gingerly, but under his own power. So Musketeer ball 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. The direct snap goes to, I believe that was Clydell White, but it's not going to matter because there's a flag down.
We got some tough choices here. The McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game. Obviously, you could look at D.T. Stevens with 2 touchdown grabs. He also had a pick. You got Malik Knowles with a huge game running the football. Mason Cobb with, the 2 touchdown passes. Or actually 3 touchdown passes for Cobb. And he might be the 3rd choice for player of the game offensively.
That's something.
And then defensively, you had Taylor with the 2 picks. You had Weathers up front with some nice plays.
What I thought was a flag apparently was some sort of what do you call it? Confetti or something. So it was 2nd and 5 there, and nothing
sure that's
doing
not
there.
Glitter
3rd
coming
and
off
5.
of Matt Lane?
You know what? You never know. You never know. Silence from the sidelines.
And Richmond's going to bring some subs in as they try to run this clock down to 6 minutes.
And it will tick under 6.
Barring a miracle, they're going to pick up a nice win tonight in week 2. No, week 2 for them, week 3 for us.
Another bad snap, and that's going to cost them 4 yards, and they were fortunate to fall on it and keep possession.
You think we might have some some center tryouts at practice on Monday?
They might be 2-0 after this game, but practice might not be a cakewalk on Monday.
No, I don't think so. He's going to be talking about finishing the drill, staying with it, because again, sometimes when you get a little success, it's hard to take when you hadn't had it in a while. These guys are sort of feeling themselves a little bit. There's another bad snap. Good job by Pickett to get that one off.
And a fair catch called for. Hornets are going to have good field position. They'll take over in ARC territory at the 48-yard line, but they need a bunch. They're down 19 with 5 minutes to play.
Well, they better hope Green makes another play, because he has been their offense tonight. Green having a huge game, well over 100 yards, probably approaching 170 or so.
Well, so much tradition here at Richmond Academy. We talked about the NFL players to come out of this program. You've also got people in other walks of life. The noted news anchor Judy Woodruff is a graduate of this school. The former Supreme Court Justice Joseph Lamar. And if you ever drive on the Carl Sanders Freeway, Carl Sanders, former governor of Georgia, graduated from Richmond Academy. But football-wise, it has been a long stretch, a long drought, as we mentioned. It has been since 1976 since Richmond Academy has won the region. But this is a team that can give that a run for its money and try to put this football program back on the map.
You also can throw out some basketball guys they've had here. Gerald White, 4-year starter at Auburn at point guard, all-time leader in steals and assists for Auburn, played with Charles Barkley, drafted by the Dallas Mavericks. And Chuck Graham, 4-year starter at Florida State, although he battled a bunch of knee injuries. And
illegal substitution.
Had Chuck not had the knee injuries,
on the
he
defense.
had 2 or 3 knee scopes while he was at Florida State.
Yeah, 12 men on the
Had all
field.
the ACL injuries. There's no telling where he'd have been. As a matter of fact, Chuck Graham, age 46, posted a video on Instagram the other day of him going up and two-handed dunking it off of just a couple of steps. So he has stayed in shape while some of us have not.
Has he got any eligibility left?
I told him, I just sent a message and said, well, the good thing is I couldn't do that back then anyway, so it doesn't matter that I can't do it now.
Ooh, that was dangerous.
A dangerous throw, yeah.
And it's going nowhere as Green is stopped at the 45-yard line. Maybe my personal favorite ARC alum is not one a lot of people think of. A guy by the name of Timothy Miller. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I'm not sure.
Nathan knows exactly who I'm talking about. He is with the Atlanta Opera. He graduated here. He's actually going to be inducted into the ARC Hall of Fame here next month. But Timothy Miller is actually, if you've ever been to a Braves game at SunTrust Park or at Turner Field on Sundays, yes, he comes out in the 7th inning and does an amazing rendition of God Bless America. As Aiken pushes up close.
I did not realize he was a Richmond Academy.
I didn't know until Thursday. My co-anchor, Dee Griffin, is friends with his family and told me about it.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
He actually sang a couple of songs this week at the dedication of the new statue honoring Martin Luther King Jr. at the Georgia State Capitol. He was asked personally by the governor to sing there.
Well, some great coaches here, too. A.L. Williams, the longtime baseball coach, and Don Brock, the longtime basketball coach. at Richmond Academy for years and years. He was the coach back when I played against the ARC squads.
That's going to be a first down for Aiken and then some. Green still on his feet, twisting and turning, and finally brought down at the 23-yard line.
Well, there's been a bright spot for Aiken tonight. You're looking at him, number 2. That kid's a good running back.
He's accounted for both of their touchdowns as the clock stops with 3:34 left to play in the ball game.
He's got 164 yards on the ground, or I make that 185 yards on the ground.
Who, Green?
164 rush, 21 receiving for a total of 185. He's got most of their offense tonight.
That's a heck of a night. This is Stavon Porter, first catch of the night for him. And he's going to pick up a first down at the 15-yard line as Aiken tries to make some noise late. And the clock stops again, 3:09. So no quitting the Hornets as they try to make this score a little tighter for the, I was going to say the newspapers tomorrow, but as Matt said, nobody will know what I'm talking about. This is Green again, still pushing. He's still not down, and they're just going to blow the play dead. Unfortunately for Aiken, that means the clock's going to continue to run.
And I'm continually getting scores in. So is Nathan. Like I said, tune in to Football Friday night. There's going to be some fun stuff to watch. As Burke County's starting to pull away now, though, from Washington County, we'll tell you that. Eric Parker's squad looking very good this year.
Well, you mentioned Florida State. That's the big one tomorrow night. Who do you like?
I like the Noles.
Yeah?
I'm so pessimistic, and it scares me that for some reason I kind of like them in this game. I think they're going to make some. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game in the 30s, and I think they outscore them.
This is Green again. Stays alive and pushes down near toward the 5-yard line. I told Brad Means, one of my colleagues at WJBF, huge Alabama fan, and I asked him this week, are you okay with Alabama losing tomorrow night if it means they win the national championship at the end of the season?
Yeah.
And he said, oh, absolutely. And I said, well, I think that might be a plausible scenario that could happen.
For either team.
Yeah,
Whichever team
exactly.
loses could still easily be in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
By winning their, running the table the rest of the way, which is likely a good possibility for Alabama. I mean, they're a great team, obviously. They just reload every year, but they did lose a lot on defense, and I'm hoping that means points for the Noles.
I'm going to agree with you. I like the Noles.
Yeah. A couple other good games out there.
That Florida-Michigan game entertained me a lot more before all the suspensions for Florida.
Yeah. I like Michigan anyway. I think having Wilton Spate back at quarterback is the difference in that one for them, and Florida's still kind of, not knowing what they're going to do at QB. So I like Michigan there. Wouldn't be shocked with a Florida win, but I do like Michigan to get that one.
First and goal, Hornets need 3 for the touchdown, and it's Thomas this time, and he is in for the Aiken touchdown. Alex Thomas with the score, and let's see if J.W. Montgomery elects to go for 2 and try to get within 9, but it appears as though they are going to just line up and kick the extra point.
And it says our kicks for college, but I'm assuming they're not kicking.
Well, so it's McKay for the point. Nope, they're going to fake it and try to punch it in the left side, and they do. I believe it was number 11, DeAndre Bynum.
That's why you do that formation, John, like I said.
We've been saying since the first quarter there's a perfectly good reason for it.
That's why you should do it right there.
All right, we'll take a break. Aiken back within 11 now, 33-22, 75 seconds left to play on Game Night Live.
Suffering.
Richmond Academy leading Aiken 33-22. And we were talking during the break, AB, that Aiken's going to rue some of those mistakes they made in the first half because this would be a much closer ball game.
Yeah, and clock management a little bit too. And maybe, they've seen getting the ball in space to their playmakers with the screen pass. Nathan was mentioning that during the break. Maybe you need to see more of that. And I think the coaches, again, they're a new coaching staff with new players. They're feeling themselves out a little bit too. And because, again, they've lost a lot to graduation the last 2 seasons.
Squib kick pulled down by Stevens.
Stevens has had a heck of a game, too. When you talk about player of the game, he certainly was somebody to watch. He's got 2 touchdown catches, an interception, and an important play there, recovering the onside kick.
Several nominees on this Richmond Academy sideline. 71 seconds left.
Burke County really pulling away now from Washington County.
That's a little bit more like I think a lot of people thought that game might go.
Yeah, 42-17 the score there.
Talking during the break about the Georgia Appalachian State game tomorrow, I feel like that game's going to be a little bit closer than a lot of people think it is.
Well, the line, I know that's for entertainment purposes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but, Georgia's only a 2-touchdown favorite.
Yeah.
I like Georgia bigger than that. I think Nathan predicted 34-13 dogs.
34-13.
I like them to score maybe more. I'm looking at like 41-14 dogs.
You guys are killing me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say dogs by 10.
And you'll take it, right?
I'll take it all day.
Yeah.
Timeout on the field.
Matt's Gamecocks are playing at NC State.
Yeah, the game's in Charlotte, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. It is.
Yeah.
By the way, NC State, I want to say they've got like 33 seniors, some ungodly number.
I like NC State in that game.
I think that South Carolina does have Jake Bentley, and I really like him, especially considering last year he should have been a senior in high school and was out there, doing good things for them. But I do like NC State in that one.
Monday night, big game. This is one of my favorite weekends of the year because you have football every night from Thursday night through Monday night. And then, of course, the NFL kicks off next Thursday. Tennessee and Georgia Tech. Who do you like?
I like Tennessee there.
Yeah.
I'd picked against the SEC. I started thinking I've picked Florida and Alabama. I had 2 SEC teams to lose, but I do like Tennessee to beat Tech. I just think they got more athletes top to bottom.
I like Tech in that game. I don't like Tech, period, in any way, shape, or form, but I like them in that game. Ball on the ground, and this could be a huge turnover. It is Demetrius Preston, Johnny on the spot to give Aiken the football with 56 seconds left to play in the ball game.
I said barring a miracle earlier.
Well, stranger things have happened.
We might be seeing it. Man, and if you're Coach Burns, he's known for being fiery. Mm-hmm. He's known for being such a competitor, and I bet his blood is boiling right about now.
So, if you can punch it in here, go for 2, your onside kick, and then a field goal, that's all you got to do.
Well,
in 56 seconds.
56 seconds?
Yeah.
Hey, stranger things have happened.
Nothing to it.
Look at Coach Burns. He's handling himself well, though. I figured the headset would be on the ground.
Again, practice on Monday.
Yeah. I can see him. My buddy, I'm good friends with the principal here, Scott McClintock at Richmond. He's also in his first year coming over from West Side. And, hey, Coach Burns, we're not buying you any more headsets, so keep it. But he's doing a good job tonight. I'm glad.
Well, this rarely happens in an 11-point ball game with under a minute to play, but this crowd is alive, and that is a touchdown grab. Nope, incomplete. Oh, that would have been a big, huge play, but it's incomplete. They say it hit the ground before it got into the arms of Stavon Porter.
Yeah, unable to corral it there was Porter. So fans a little into this one now, getting loud as a team. They sense a little trouble. They're still up 11, under a minute to play. But you want to keep them out of the end zone here, not give them a chance to make some crazy play at the end of the game.
On their feet again with 50 seconds to play. Aiken down 11, trying to make a miracle happen here at ARC Stadium.
Plenty of time to throw. Now he's running
all kinds of time to throw for Wallace to the end zone, and it is broken up. And what a defensive touchdown-saving play by...
Was that Stevens? No, it was one. It was
Mondarius Taylor.
Taylor, who, by the way, is that a heck of a game. Taylor's got some speed, and he showed it there. Nathan's pointing out he came out of nowhere, coming from all the way on the other side of the field. And knocked that ball away.
Taylor playing to the ARC student section, which has come to life here in this final minute as Aiken's trying to make a ball game of this thing late. And I mean really late. 41 seconds to play.
What a play by Taylor.
Touchdown saving play. But the Hornets still have 2 more downs. It's Wallace. One way, then the other. He's got an entire field open, flag down. And no matter what happens, it's going to be a hold. But a great tackle made on the far side. There's going to be a hold on Aiken's Philip Collins. Second time we've called Phil Collins' name tonight.
Holding. Offense.
And I couldn't see who made that tackle. I couldn't see his number, but he flew from
Yeah,
all the way across
closing
the
speed.
field and closed.
Well, again,
Holding.
one thing Richmond does
Offense.
have, they got speed.
That penalty's declined. 4th down.
Well, it's 4th down, and so that your decision there: do you decline it, and make it 4th down, 4th and 10, or do you back them up even further when they're trying to score here? And they're going to try to kick it here. They've got McKay, who's a good kicker.
This is going to be a 35-yarder.
Well, this is really the ball game. So they missed this. They're still 2 scores away with 31 seconds. If they make it,
Then you can onside
there's still
kick.
a chance.
And
Yeah.
it presents the scenario we were talking about just a moment ago.
GMC Kicks for College, and this is the biggest one we've had in the 2 years of this GMC Kicks for College.
It's got the distance. It's got the direction. 35-yard field goal off the foot of Austin McKay. And guess what? With 25 seconds left to play, we've got an 8-point ball game.
This was a 33-7 game not long ago.
You can't give Aiken enough credit
No.
for
Yeah.
not quitting and staying with it, and now they have at least a chance to try to pull off a miracle here.
And you know what? This is, even if you obviously lose, but if you're Richmond, as a coaching staff, pretty good wake-up call for your team right here, what's happened in this 4th quarter.
Well, I go back to what Matt Lane told us, I believe it was midway through the 3rd quarter, and he said he heard Coach Lyle Burns telling his guys, stay mentally sharp.
They haven't.
No.
Yeah. And you know what? Luckily for them, they've got enough athletes that have made a few plays here and there. But you're right, they haven't stayed mentally sharp, and they've had a tough time with the exchange from center to whoever's been back there, quarterback, punter. And they've had a lot of penalties as well. And a couple of turnovers.
So, this is the ball game right here.
All hands team in there for Richmond for sure. They want to corral this one. Last time it was DT Stevens who got it.
And that'll do it. The ball went straight into the hands of,
Dorsey.
I believe it, yep, Isaiah Dorsey.
New rule, by the way, this year in Georgia. You can't kick down on the ball straight into the ground to pop it up. You actually have to kick it along the ground first. Teams started really doing that, just kind of booting it straight down.
Yeah.
You can't kick down on the ball. That's a new rule this year.
Isn't
in
that
Georgia
kind
high
of
school.
isn't that kind of the whole point of an onside kick?
You got to kick it, let it bounce across the ground first. What they're trying to stop, that ball kicked straight into the ground would go straight up and put a defenseless player.
Gotcha.
And that's what they're trying to do away with.
Victory formation for the Musketeers.
Ashley bringing the heat.
Too close for comfort, and closer than ARC would have liked, but they are going to come out of here with a victory and move to 2-0 on this young 2017 season.
Well, Richmond gets the win, but again, it's a win, a learning experience for those guys that are new to winning, new to these experiences. You got to finish it out. They're going to get the win, but they're going to get a talking to from Coach Burns, I'm sure.
So that will be the final play of this ball game. And the ARC Musketeers stay undefeated, move to 2-0 on this season, beating the Aiken Hornets 33-25, but a valiant comeback by these Aiken Hornets, AB.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Aiken, give them a lot of credit. They fought through this thing. I mean, it looked like they were going to be blown out, and this could have been one where they just went home and kind of sulked in their season. They're 0-3, and instead they've got something to kind of look forward to, because I tell you, they got a playmaker in Green, and they showed that they got a lot of fight tonight. They've obviously got a real good place kicker, McKay, with a nice 35-yarder. Now they just need to shore some things up. Their front line needs to really play a full ball game. There you see the coaches talking. And but nothing to hang their head about, because they did give it their all for the entire game.
Aiken will head off to play Clinton next weekend. ARC will make the right turn on 15th Street and go over and play Josie at White Road Stadium next Friday night, and a chance to go 3-0.
Yeah, Josie's struggling tonight with Greenbrier. Greenbrier putting it on them pretty good. And then, of course, we will head over to Midland Valley. Strom-Thurmond, Midland Valley. Always a good game over there with the Rebels looking good again this year.
You will head over to Midland Valley.
Oh, that's
next week.
right.
I got a big weekend planned next weekend. got a Georgia at Notre Dame on
Yeah,
Saturday. We've got the Falcons opening up in Chicago on
How
Sunday.
about that weekend?
And the Cubs on Friday night.
That is, I got to give you credit. That's a pretty. I've had some good sport weekends. That's about as good as it gets.
All right, Matt Lane is standing by live on the field with a victorious Coach Lyle Burns for our final Augusta Auto Auction sideline report of the night. Matt.
That's right, John, here down on the field with the winning coach. Coach, a little tight there, maybe for the liking at the end.
Too tight. Well, that's an area we got to improve. That got us last week too. We had a lead. We got to be able to put it away. And
yeah, I know you really stressed it to your players. Having that lead like that. A lot of times when you're not used to something like that, you almost don't know how to react. Is that what maybe you saw out of your team?
Well, that's what it looks like. I think they're just not used to it. But we're gonna keep working on it. That's all we can do.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck next week.
Thank y'all very much.
Back to you, John.
Yeah, our pleasure, Coach. And AB, we finally have some drama. Week 1, South Aiken put on a show. We had a running clock in the second half. Week 2, Lincoln County put on a show. We had the running clock in the fourth quarter. Tonight, Aiken took us right down to the wire, and ARC comes out with a hard-fought victory.
Yeah, we saw some great individual performances on the ARC side, and like I said, as a team, you said as a team, Aiken didn't give up and made a game of it, made it exciting at the end. But the bottom line, these Musketeers are undefeated. They've got what looks like a pretty good chance to go 3-0 next week. Aiken's still looking for that first win, but they should keep their heads high. They came over here and playing a team that was pretty confident coming in, and they hung in there and almost pulled off a miraculous. I mean, it would have been one of the craziest comebacks ever, certainly in Game Night Live history.
You guys had a few frantic finishes here, not here, but on Game Night Live last year.
Yeah.
That was our first one for 2017, and hopefully many more to come. It is very difficult to pick players of the game on the offensive and defensive side of the ball when you have so many players who had so many big games as ARC did tonight.
Yeah.
But we have done it, and for that, we head back down to the field and Matt Lane.
John, that's right, down on the field for the McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game. I'm joined by Kevin Hamilton, local shift manager for McDonald's. And Kevin, I know each and every week you guys love coming out. Can you just kind of speak to that, coming out to great high school games like this one? It seemed like it was kind of put away, and then Aiken seemed to storm back. Can you just talk about being involved in high school games like this, during the game and then after the game as well?
That's good to see the young people enjoying themselves, doing something positive, and stop by when I'm at McDonald's and
right.
We support y'all. Keep doing the good work. Just happy they.
Absolutely, and Kevin, each and every week you have these games, and like you said, after the game, all the folks are always stopping at McDonald's, kind of congregating there, talking about the game, whatever happened around the CSRA. Is that one of the better parts of being involved with McDonald's, just seeing that each and every week?
Yes. It sometimes make it seem like you don't went to the game, how happy they come to bring the excitement to the store. So it's good to see them after the game. So it's love.
All right, and time for the awards, and we're going to give out the offensive award first. We're going to give it to number 4, Malik Knowles. Malik had a big game running the ball on the ground, so congratulations, Malik. I think he had over 160 yards rushing, really aggressive running from you tonight, so great job. And then on the defensive side of the ball, number 1, Mondarius Taylor, 2 interceptions, a lot more plays on defense, really flying around on the ball and making big tackles, and when he wasn't making tackles, was putting himself out there and getting stops each and every down. So go ahead and give this to you. Congratulations. All right, so far so good for Richmond on the year. Thank you guys for joining us for the McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game. Back to you, John.
Knowles and Taylor have quite a cheering section. I'm going to guess that's Mom, I believe I see over there, and some family members. Yeah, they've got a nice little cheering section.
Good to see.
Rooting them on in the post-game interviews. Congratulations to both of them. Congratulations to these Richmond Academy Musketeers for moving to 2-0 on the season. So we've got one more break to take. We will do that, come back, and wrap it up from Richmond Academy on this winning night for the ARC Musketeers. Final score 33-25. Back live at ARC Stadium one more time as we get set to say goodnight here on Goodnight Live and get ready to head off to Midland Valley, where the Mustangs next week will take on Strom Thurmond in that big rivalry that we enjoy broadcasting. AB, let's first take a look at our Augusta Pain Center hit of the game. Again, a lot of nominees tonight, but
We're going to go David Neal, and this was a kind of a crazy play here as you watch the hit, and then he goes airborne and gets kind of airplane there, spun around, or helicopter spun around. But there, Neal was the man, number 28, who laid that first hit, or I guess the Payne Center hit of the game.
Yeah, if your airplane's doing that, you're in trouble.
That's true. You don't want that happening at all. By the way, next week, going to Midland Valley, right now they're trailing late, 46-35 against Lugoff Elgin. Strom Thurmond's got the night off, so they've got a week off heading into that game. So going to be a tough task for Midland Valley next week. Looking forward to that one.
And again, a full recap of this game and all the scores and highlights from around the area coming up at 11:35 over on WJBF News Channel 6. Hogan's Heroes will follow us, I believe.
Well, don't miss
here.
football Friday night, though. Big comebacks, couple of surprise wins. Yeah, they got some good stuff tonight.
Nathan Palm and Zach Hughes currently working hard in the sports office back at Television Park, getting that ready for us. So 11:35 over on WJBF News Channel 6. AB, final thoughts on this Musketeer win tonight over Aiken?
Well, nice win, but as Coach Burns said, they've got to be able to start closing these things out if they're going to really get where they want to go. They've got some athletes to get there. They've got playmakers to get there, but you've got to be mentally in the game the entire time. Aiken stayed in the game more mentally. They just didn't have enough playmakers.
So, for my partner, Ashley Brown, and Matt Lane down on the sidelines, our director, Chris McCarthy, working hard for us to keep us in the on the air, back in the truck. Mike Ludwikowski, our replay technician, Dion Mayo doing the graphics for us. I want to give some credit to all these guys. These are guys you don't see, but they are the ones that put us on the air every single night. Our cameramen, Josh Recor, Brendan Riccardi, Corey Alberty, William Baker, Seth McDougal, Calvin Jenkins. We got them everywhere, folks. Devin Johnson, Victoria Broughton, and, of course, our red cap official tonight. You know what that means? She's the one that tells them when they can play and when they can't play. She gets fussed at by the officials because we're at commercial, but she does a great job. And Alice Woodruff is there for us doing that tonight. And, of course, up here in the booth with us, our statistician, as always, Nathan Edwards. So, with that, we're going to say goodbye for another night of Game Night Live. Your final score, once again here tonight, the Richmond Academy Musketeers 33, the Aiken Hornets 25. We will see you next week from Midland Valley. For now, good night from Richmond Academy.